Why should I go to church? It's amazing how many times we hear those words. And I'm not surprised. During these past few weeks, I've been reading in the news about Cardinal McCarrick, the betrayal of his office, the sex abuse scandals, all raised all kinds of questions for me and reopened old wounds of betrayal. And you know the question I asked myself? Why should I go to church? As I let go of my initial gut reaction and gave myself time to reflect, I came to the conclusion shared by others. Now is the time to redouble our faithfulness. Yes, we may be angry, we may feel betrayed, but we know we live in a world that is starving and hungry. Hungry and starving for justice and accountability, not only in the church, but in all of our institutions. So when we gather here to celebrate the Eucharist, if only the bread and wine are transformed on that altar and we are not, then something is lost. The ongoing transformation into the likeness of Christ by all of us gets lost. Yes, the world is stuffed with sin, starving for love, and so often just absolutely disrupts our heart. So as we gather at this table today, we will treat the Eucharist with reverence. But should we be treating all of God's creation with reverence? Should we be treating each other with reverence as the sacred dwelling place of God's Spirit? The daily bread that Jesus speaks about, the bread of life that we consume, that bread is the love of God, the very love of God, and we need to allow and let that love of God become part of us. We need to consume that love within us so that it can change us, so that it can transform us, so that it can move us beyond superficial living. So coming to the table is not a me and God thing. We're called to share who we are becoming, so that every time we come to church, every time we gather at this table, we are graced to become the manifestation of God's love. You and you and you, all individual, real, living manifestations of God's love. Breathing manifestations of God's love. Living manifestations of God's love. Hearts that are the manifestation of God's love. That's real up front. That's the miracle. That's the miracle we celebrate. And we certainly need to work to heal that disconnect between our everyday lives and everyday life experience and what we do here. Father Ron Rolheiser quotes a Belgian spiritual writer saying, "The greatest miracle is love that makes whole and that embraces what has been lost, that chooses what has been rejected, that forgives what has been found guilty beyond appeal, that unites what seemingly has been torn apart forever." All our lives, to some extent, end up incomplete, broken, sometimes ripped away from us, and we continue to hurt and to hate, to be unfaithful, to be bound in our sinfulness. Do you know what the real miracle is? Is that there is ultimately new life, transforming who we are and how we live each and every day, even after all the ways we have gone wrong. share as God's people and reflecting the feelings of others, despite everything that has gone wrong. I am a Catholic. Because of everything, I am. Because of everything.